You know, one of my biggest issues with social media is that a lot of it feels like you're hustling backwards. At least it was for me. Let me tell you what hustling backwards on social media looks like. Inconsistent posting, lack of a strategy. You hop on trends here and there, whether it's an audio, video, or a topic, but you don't really know how they're relevant to your brand, or they're just not relevant to what you're doing whatsoever, and you're struggling with engagement. That sounds like you, then you might be hustling backwards when it comes to social media and content. So let's talk about it real quick. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marvy. I'm a funnel and content strategist. I help creators and entrepreneurs get a better ROI on their content by implementing a social media self-system into their platform. If you want to find out more about that, hit the follow or shoot me a DM and we can talk about it, all right? Hustling backwards, that's basically you working really hard, putting in a lot of time, effort, and energy, but you're not seeing any results or progress. So you're not seeing the results and progress you think you should when it comes to the work and effort that you're putting into. And that was something I dealt with a lot. I felt like I was putting all this time, effort, creating content, spending hours working on reels or post videos, writing out captions, choosing the right audio, but I'm not getting any results. So I end up sitting there like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Why is this not working? I see all these other people having success, going viral, doing all this different shit, but why is this not working for me? What is happening? So I had to take a step back, because if you continue down that path, which I have, you end up being burnt out. You feel super drained. You tired of putting in all this work because you're not seeing the results. You're frustrated. You're annoyed. You don't want to post anymore. You lose motivation. So your quality starts to drop. You're not as creative. Like, there's a lot that comes with it, and it's really hard to deal with that and kind of get over that hump when you're in that space. You're spending time, you're spending your energy, sometimes you're even spending money hiring social media managers or content creators to help you with your content, and it's still not working. It's frustrating as fuck being in that space, all right? So there's 4 things that you can do. This is what I did that helped me break out of that cycle and actually started seeing a lot more engagement from my content and making a lot more money with it. First things first, create a content strategy. You need to have a strategy for the content you're posting. I just did a video about this. If you want to check it out, I'm gonna link to it here, or it's gonna be somewhere. It's linked to this video here or somewhere. It's somewhere in this area. But you want to have a content strategy, because a content strategy is gonna help you create goals for your content and give it a purpose, so that you're not just posting and hoping and just kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, right? It's also gonna help you understand your target audience, so you know that the content you're creating is the content that they're looking for and what they're interested in seeing. If you need help, check the description or check my link in bio and grab my UniqStrategy guide. It's going to help you create a fully fleshed out content strategy. Very simple, very straightforward. You plug in some stuff into ChatGPT, super easy. So first thing, create a content strategy. Second thing is be social. A lot of creators and entrepreneurs miss the mark on that because they're not social on social media. It's the first word, man. Come on. But you want to be social, because a lot of creators and entrepreneurs, they sit around with the if I build it, they will come. If I post it, they'll engage type mentality. It can happen, but most of the time it does not work like that. That is not how this shit works. So you want to focus on being social when it comes to your platforms. That means you taking the initiative, being the person that goes out and interacts with other people, interacts with other platforms, starts conversations. When it comes to the algorithm, it shows your content to people who are likely to interact with it, or people who you've engaged with in the past, whether that's DMs and their stories, whatever. So when you're the one who's constantly going out and interacting with people and starting conversations with people, having conversations in the DMs, responding to stories, responding to comments, you start to build up this trickle effect of the algorithm connecting you with these different platforms, especially when people are active and they respond to you. The algorithm is going to see that you're interacting with people and be like, oh, when they post a new piece of content, I'm going to show it to them because they just interacted. Or, oh, I'm going to show it to them because they just DM, they just message each other. So they probably want to see each other's content. So we're going to show their content to them. Take 20, 30 minutes up to an hour, whatever time you can commit to it, and just go through and interact with those big pages, like those meme pages, the influencer pages, because once you start commenting and interacting with the people in the comments, that's going to up the chances of you being discovered by somebody through your content. So if somebody posts a post, like for me, if somebody posts a post that said, here's 4 tips to build out a content strategy, and I go in and add a comment, oh, this is great, here's another thing that you can do that might help make it a little better or help you get a little more dialed in with your strategy, right? It's not disrespecting them, it's not taking away from their content, it's just adding on or adding a little bit of insight. That's kind of the trick or the key to it. You don't want to just do generic comments, emojis, oh, this is great. Like, that doesn't really do much. You want to give people a reason to take interest in you. So you want to lead with value when you comment on somebody else's post, because what happens is people go read the comments. That's one of the things that I figured out in the past couple months or so. It's like people, they like the content, but what they really like is the comments and the people under, just to see what they're saying. So when you hop on these big pages and these videos that are going viral and you just add your 2 cents in, it gives you the opportunity to be seen by a lot more people. They're going to go through, read the comments, and if you have a comment that stands out and is like, oh, that was helpful, let me go check their page, let me go see what content they post, let me go follow them, right? That's going to help to start increase your reach and increase your engagement overall. So when you're on these platforms, be social. It doesn't matter which one you're on, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of them. You want to be the one that's initiating, because if you sit around waiting, you're going to be waiting for a while, and it's going to be a very slow grind and slow burn. Third one, you want to pay attention to your analytics. Every platform has analytics where you can go in and check to see how your post did, how much engagement it got, how many people saw it. Your analytics and your metrics and your KPIs, that's key performance indicators, those are going to tell you what content performed well and what content didn't. So let's say you do a monthly check, or every 2 weeks you do a check just to see how your content is performing. You can look back and be like, okay, this content did really well. These 2 reels did really well. And I use kind of like a similar hook, similar style. I'm going to focus more on that content. This post where I was giving out tips, it didn't do anything. Nobody liked it, nobody engaged with it, nobody saved it. So I'm not going to focus on that type of content anymore, right? That's the power of the analytics. They're meant to tell you what's working and what's not. When you're not paying attention to your analytics, you can be putting out the greatest content, but if you don't know what's getting you results, you don't see the spike of engagement because these posts did well and you just keep posting whatever, you're just going to stay in that cycle of hustling backwards, because even if you're getting results, you don't really know where they're coming from or why you're getting those results, which doesn't really do you any good because you can't repeat it and optimize it. That's the name of the game. To post, optimize, repeat. Post, optimize, repeat. So you want to make sure you're checking on your insights or your analytics to see what content is performing well and what's getting you results, so you can double down on that and cut out what's not working, right? And then the last one is most important. This is super key because a lot of people, they'll have a few of the first ones, but they're missing the last one, and that's where they're fucking up, and that's when they're falling off. So you want to get people off the platform. I highly recommend having a newsletter or an email list, contact list that you're building with all of the people who interact with your content or like your content, whether that's through them signing up for your newsletter, downloading a freebie, coming to a training or a webinar, whatever it is. But you want to get people off the platform, because when it comes to these platforms, you're at the mercy of the algorithm. Whatever you post, it's never going to get shown to everybody that follows you. It's going to get shown to a percentage. And if it performs well with that small percentage, then it'll get shown to more. Then if it keeps performing well, it'll keep going up. But most of the times it hits a wall in there and doesn't get shown to not even nearly all of your followers. So when you have an email list or a contact list that you've been building up with people who are interested in you, you make sure you have a way to contact these people and stay in contact with these people consistently, so you can continue to provide them value, market, and eventually sell to them. Remember, these platforms go down, they disappear, shit happens. You don't want to be at the mercy of the platform when it comes to your brand, your business, and being able to get in contact with who you're working with. All right, this is not 2017, this is not 2018. You need to have an email list, you need to have a contact list that you're growing. All right, so before you post, make sure you get clear on your content strategy. Start engaging, start interacting, building up connections with people, building up relationships. Pay attention to your analytics, either bi-weekly or at the end of the month. Make sure you're checking on your analytics, checking on your numbers. And you also want to make sure you're getting these people off the platforms and onto a list that you own. All right. If you can do that, you can break the cycle of hustling backwards, and you can start to make a lot more and be more profitable with your content and social media. What we do at our agency is help you implement what we call a social media sales system. It's basically processes that help you at each point of these phases. We help you with engagement. We help you come up with a process for DMing people and getting them interested in booking a call or buying your product or service. We help you figure out what content you're going to create, how you're going to set up your funnels so you're growing your email list on autopilot. We help you with all of this process. If that's something you want to find out more about, shoot me a DM, or there'll be a link below to schedule a time for us to talk. All right. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If not, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. All right.